episode we're going to talk about today, but I want to make sure you take notes, sit back, and we got a very special guest today. So we're going to talk about things like how is your belief? Let's talk about discipline. We're going to talk about survival. What is the grind like on a day-to-day basis playing elite baseball? Because everybody thinks they can play elite baseball, but we're going to talk to the one that has been through the trenches. He didn't just wear the jersey, he went through the journey. The guy has been to several MLB teams. His platform speaks for itself. He's also played overseas. So make sure you take your notes. This is episode 139. This is for the athletes that refuse to quit. So if you want to sit back and listen to somebody that's been through the grind at the highest level possible, it's the MLB, the draft, the show. You want to sit back and take notes. So my guest himself, he has lived it. He's had highlights. He's had disappointments. He has the real deal. He knows what the grind looks like in a career at the MLB level. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and just sugar it up a little bit more. He got drafted by the very own my home city. I'm not a Cubs fan, but I'm going to go ahead and get on the show. He got drafted by the Chicago Cubs back in 2008. He has played with several teams. For example, he's played with the Blue Jays, the ones that just went to the World Series last year. Good job, Blue Jays. He's also played with the Twins. I think he played with Houston and Milwaukee Brewers. Is that correct, Jay? That's right.
Yeah, not Houston, but I played with Milwaukee, played with the Braves, I played with the Brewers, I played with the Giants as well. So,
Okay. Oh
yeah,
yeah,
San
yeah. Oh
Fran
man.
back in the day.
Oh, I gotta say San Fran because I'm a San Francisco Giants fan. But I apologize, guys. I just got a little bit tongue tied. I get a little excited. But for that being said, I've got a quick sponsor. Are you really D1? This is a blueprint for students, for athletes, for baseball players, and also for parents. They want a standard, they want a mindset to compete at the collegiate level. If you want to know what to do, what's the blueprint, I strongly suggest here's a copy of my book, Are You Really D1? Go to www.areyoureallyd1. Again, it's www.rud1.com. Get your copy today. But with that being said, I'm going to talk about my very own special guest. His name is Jay Jackson, but you may look up. May say Randy, but he goes by Jay Jackson. He has had a professional career in the MLB. He knows what resilience is. He knows how to reinvent himself, and he knows what perseverance is. He has had a journey being a pitcher again for the guys that jumped on the Padres, the Brewers, the Giants, the Jays, the Braves, and also he played up in Japan. Am I right, Jay? You played in Japan for a short period stint.
Yes, sir.
With that being
Played in
said,
Japan, yes, sir.
and with that, he also has reinvented himself, ladies and gentlemen. He's the founder of Smile Zone organization, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that after we go ahead and get going. But how you doing, Jay?
Fantastic. How you doing, man?
I'm glad
Just
you.
out here living, trying to make the best of it.
I'm glad you're here, man. I'm glad you to be in my episode 139. I'm glad we finally chopped it up. It's a pleasure to have you on here. But we're gonna go ahead and get right to the point. Jay, you've had a very long career compared to most people. Because some guys only make a few years. You've been around for 11 years, something like that. Is that correct? 11 or 12 years playing pro baseball. Is that right?
17. 17.
Oh,
17.
excuse me. That's
Yeah,
almost 20. He's always
17. Yeah, I was thinking about trying to get to 20, but 20 was just it was a little bit. One of my actual partners that helps me with the Smile Zone, he got to 20. Well, he got to
Oh,
19. He needed one at bat in his 20th season and decided that he was going to coach instead. So
oh
he almost
man.
had 20 in professional baseball. But me and most of the guys that I work with, we've all had at least double digit years in professional baseball. And like you said, it's real rare to have, one guy or two guys, let alone three, four guys that have played professionally
Right.
for, a decade
Yeah,
plus.
decade plus. That's me. Because I mean, when you realize, being a professional baseball player, it wasn't just about talent. Am I right? It was more about survival. Would you say that, Jay?
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely it's about talent. Talent gets you in the door, but to stay in the room, to go to the next room, to open the next door, to progress your career and do the things that you need to do, it's not just talent because talent. Everybody once you get to the big leagues, obviously, with your book, D1, like once you get to D1, everybody's talented. It's like who's going to take that next step to be, drafted in D1, or when
Right.
you're drafted to go to Double A, go to
Correct.
Triple A, go to the big leagues. What's it take to get there? And that normally just takes, a lot of mental resilience, a lot of mental skills, and a lot of extra stuff that talent doesn't necessarily cover. So it's definitely a grind. I spent what 8 years in the minors before I made it to the big leagues. So
Wow.
the
8.
grind's real, man. The grind's real. And this isn't the new minor leagues where they have it a little easier, I'd say, and a little bit more comfortable. This was back in the day where we were, you know, max salaries for guys who just signed out of college. In AAA at the highest level that you could be in the minors, you're making 2,000 to 2,200 bucks a month, and that was before taxes. And now you see guys with the travel, they get to go stay in towns for a week at a time, play the same team, be comfortable, have host families. We only had host families when we were in short season when I was playing, and then after you left short season, you were pretty much on your own, taking out that $1,000 a month that you were making and trying to get an apartment somewhere close to the
Yeah.
stadium. And
Same.
then some guys had families too, so you're living off $1,000, trying to get an apartment, trying to have a wife and a kid, and trying to
Ooh.
make it through the program. But
Ooh.
so
Ooh. That.
no,
That's.
the grind was there. It was fun. It was a lot of life. It was a lot of experiences.
Yeah.
Just trying to give back, and just I enjoyed it as much as I could.
I believe you did. I believe you did, and you also took care of yourself because in order for someone to play 8 years in minors and a total of 17 years, that's a long. I mean, that's almost like grandpa. No disrespect, but that's a long time because your body is wear and tear every day because you don't get a break. There's no break for you. Yeah,
No,
you every 5 days you may pitch or whatever the case may be, your rotation, but you still got to stay conditioned. You still got to be ready because you never know. Which leads me to that next question: what changes mentally when you went for? Oh, okay. What changed mentally you had to go through from being a prospect on a team to being the guy that's going to stay employed? Because you had that journey in 8 years of minor league. So when I say prospect, you was on a minor league team trying to get to the next level. What was it like trying to stay employed and not get cut?
well, it's difficult. I'd say that's the probably lowest level I can explain it as, is it's difficult just because of how much. Once you get into professional baseball, you realize that it's not just baseball anymore. It's not just about what happens on the field. You have so many politics, and you have so many behind the scene things with front offices and things of that nature where, okay, I was a ninth round pick and I could be playing well, but then there's a first round pick that might not be playing as well as I am, but close enough where they're going to call him up before me just because of different circumstances and things of that nature. And like you said, I technically was a prospect. I was a top prospect in the Cubs organization for a few
Okay,
years. I was
okay,
actually a top prospect in minor league baseball for a year as well.
okay.
But being in my position, being a prospect, there's always prospects coming every year too, right? So you try to do your best and dominate whenever you can. But I think we were talking about it before we got on here. I think that what helped me stay in the game as long as I did was, one, my mental resilience to like not let things when they were going wrong affect me and keep spiraling out of control for a whole year
Yeah.
or for 6 months or for 3 months, making sure that it happened consistently. It was able to bounce back in a quick enough time where I could make the adjustments and keep the game close enough and keep the team close enough to win ball games, but also trying to be there for my teammates, trying to be a professional. And I
Wow.
think the main thing was we were winning and I was helping guys, and the teams that I was on, we played well. So I tell this to a lot of guys that I play with and that I coach now. If you win, people notice because people are going to want to come watch games where people are winning. Even though baseball now has become so much highlights and home runs and strikeouts and people are picking and clipping things, if you really realize it and recognize it, and these front offices should recognize it too, is when you're winning games, not just finding guys that can create best highlights for you or put fans in the seats. When you're winning games, that's what causes fans to come, because now the fans are proud not only of the team, they're proud of the city. They want to be somewhere that can show off the best versions of
Right.
themselves and enjoy it
Right.
at the same time.
I
So when
like
you
it.
win, That's what brings more money in, and that's what's going to bring more better players in, and all these other things. I think that we've lost sight of that, and like I said, I think that's what kept me in the game for as long as it did. I've been in the playoffs out of my 17 years. I think there's only like 3 or 4 years that I didn't make it or have a chance to be in the playoffs. I think even with those 17 years, the times I wasn't in the playoffs, we were
In the hunt.
either a couple games out of the playoffs or
Right.
a game out of the playoffs. And I
Right.
think that the last season that I played with the Twins was literally the one time I wasn't in the playoffs. And my fiance and family like to tell me that it wasn't necessarily my karma that was going on because I wasn't there the whole year. Because when I left, we were actually in the playoffs, and then
Right.
it just kind of tumbled after that,
Right.
and we
Right.
didn't make the playoffs. So technically, she says, and everybody says that my playoff streak is still alive. So if I count that one, then I think it was like 15 years in a row with every team I was in that I made the playoffs. So for me, people don't understand how rare it is to win a championship, but how rare it is to have an opportunity to
Yeah.
win a championship in the
Yeah.
playoffs every year. And I think that also helped with keeping me in the game because I've had that playoff experience when I came back from overseas. I had playoff experience, I had big game experience. So, you know,
Mm.
luckily it kept me around. And I think people thought I was nice enough in the clubhouse where it kept me around a little bit too.
I like that. I like what you said. I mean, because basically, when you wasn't in the playoffs, you were in the hunt to get to the playoffs. You were trying to get there. You were close. It was an opportunity to try to get over the hump. I like that because a lot of guys that are listening to the show are high schoolers in college, and also parents listen to the show. And it's something that I'm gonna ask you. Take us inside a bullpen, your bullpen. Let's say a bullpen in the MLB. What emotional roller coaster that you go through when you're in the bullpen and that fans don't see before you get to the hill.
I can't. I can't give all the secrets away
Right,
because so
right,
much stuff happens in the bullpen
right.
that I know these guys
Just,
don't want to
just give
give
us
the
one.
secrets away. You know what I'm saying?
I respect that.
But like you said, there's so much that goes on not only before the bullpen, but even people kind of get clips of it. But before the game, people don't understand the game might start at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock.
Right.
We're at the field and at the stadium at 12 o'clock. And
Woo.
so we're getting at the field at 12 o'clock. We're changing, eating. Normally we'll have a meeting, and then we're on the field working out and practicing at normally around 1 o'clock, 1:30, and then we'll get like an hour, 2 hour break to change, eat, and stuff again, and then we're back out for the game. But as far as the process before I go to the bullpen during a game,
Right.
it starts right when the first pitch is thrown. I normally have my shower. We have, lineups and everything, first pitch, have all that stuff by first pitch, depending on where we're at. If we're the away team
Right.
or the home team, if we're the home team, then we go down and make sure we're there for first pitch just in case worst case scenario happens with our starting pitcher, right?
Correct.
So everybody's in the bullpen first pitch, but if we're on the away game, then bottom half of the inning we go make sure again first pitch for our starting pitcher, and then you're just there locked in watching. Normally, I think who was it? One of the old closers had come out with it and said that like if you know your role in the bullpen, then it's a lot less stressful.
Right.
But for the guys that were like me when I was over in America, the middle inning guys, the guys that if the game kind of swings out of hand or gets past the closer's point in the back end of the game or something like that, you never know when the phone's going to ring and if it might be you. So whenever that phone rings, or if you see a situation where
Right.
things might start getting hairy, you see four guys automatically jump up, right? And we all start stretching, blah, blah. And then the phone rings, and that's when everybody's nerves and heart rates go up because it's like, who's it going to be? Because
Right.
there's normally like four guys that is going to be a choice of because
Okay.
they have the situations for the closer, the eighth inning guy normally. So if it's in the eighth or ninth and you haven't pitched and the game's in a safe situation or whatever, you probably know you're not pitching if you're not the closer.
Correct.
But all the other situations, extra innings, if you're hot, you've been on a good pitching streak
Street.
or throwing in good games for the past couple weeks, they might throw you in one of those situations. So you never know. So
I
it's
got you.
always trying to stay ready and available as possible. And it's just a mentality at that point. It's just making sure once you get there that you've told yourself that you're confident for what you're about to do.
I got
It's
you.
literally making sure not only before that pregame, like when you get to the stadium, that you've done all your work to make sure that you're ready for the game, but also so that you're mentally prepared and you've done all your work before you walk down to that bullpen between the practice in the game to make sure if that phone does get called and your heart rate gets up, that you're locked in and that you know that you've done everything that you've possibly been able to do to be
Okay.
ready to go out there and do your best. And that's why
Okay.
I tell a lot of my guys, like, you can go out there and say you're ready, but the results show because you truly ultimately know if you're ready. Like, if you're scared when you go out there, it shows. If you go out there and you feel like you didn't do one or two things during that day that was going to make you better than that person that you think you might be facing, it shows. And it's
Mm.
crazy how often that happens, especially in sports, because it's so monotonous where it's like, okay, I do the same thing every day.
Right.
But that one day you forget the one littlest thing, you think about it more than anything else.
That's right.
So it's just coming up with a way where if things do go wrong in those situations and you didn't feel like you were completely prepared, that you have the confidence and the wherewithal and the
Right.
mentality to go back to your previous outings, your previous games, your previous life experiences and realize like this is just a blip. It's not something that could fold the whole
Oh.
outing or the whole game, right?
That's
So
good.
it starts from the time you get to the field at probably 12 o'clock, but the
Wow.
culmination of it is when you throw your last bullpen pitch and you're walking to the mound and be like, I've done everything. I'm as confident as I can be to
Right.
go face this hitter. Or same thing as a batter.
Right.
I've worked on everything I need to. I know this pitcher's strengths and weaknesses. So when I step in this box, I've done everything I need to
Anything.
do. That if he throws me good pitches that I know I can handle, I handle them and then I don't miss them.
Wow, he's giving a whole lot of nuggets. Hey, episode 139. I told you guys, but it take notes. This boy, he is hot. He's throwing 100 miles per hour fastball of nuggets on you guys. Hey, I appreciate that, Jay. That was pretty heavy for some guys that are listening because just basically you're talking like a coach. You're talking like a coach. Be prepared, be ready mentally and physically, and make sure your tools are sharpened for the task at hand. And you never know when your number is going to be called.
100%.
That's what you basically. I'm just summing everything you just said. You
Yeah.
summed it up like a
Yeah.
coach.
Summing up, just take one sentence is take advantage of the opportunity, right? It's always be
That's it.
ready for the opportunity.
Opportunity.
And that's I think that was one of the reasons with how I'm telling guys right now, but how I told my team because I actually got to coach for the first time
Yeah.
after I retired last year in 2025 in March actually, and then I got my first coaching job to be a pitching coach for the MLB Draft League in the summer. And so we ended up winning the championship too. So I think all the guys, there'll be some clips that come out from some of the guys that worked with me this summer. And I think they'll all agree that the reason they feel like we won the championship is because that's the attitude that we had every day. Is okay, come out, you do your work, you stay prepared for the opportunities. I'm going to put you in the best situations
Which is
possible and give
possible.
you the best opportunities. So it's up to you how you take care of it.
Right.
And I know the guys who are going to be ready for those opportunities anyway. I mean, coaches, like old school coaches, know that stuff. And again, I say this all the time because there's no disrespect to the new school coaches,
Right.
but a lot
Right.
of these coaches now, especially at the highest levels and in the minors, have never played in the minors. So, and these organizations are doing it. I think they're doing it to save money and because it's a fad and because the numbers are there and because there's a lot of business people that see numbers more than understanding the human element of the
Come on.
game,
Come on.
and they need to be together.
Come on.
But those guys that are doing the coaching now can't help these guys truly break through their ceilings
I got you. Hey.
because they're worried about the analytics. They're worried about, you know, if you go over 20, then it's because you went over 20 because of this angle every time when that's
No.
not the case.
No. No.
There's
Right.
always things that go behind it. And you see it with the old school, like I said, you see it with the old school coaches. When we know guys aren't prepared and we throw them out there and they say they're prepared and they go out there and they struggle and then the numbers should say they should be struggling or whatever.
Right.
And the new age coaches sometimes will pull them out early because it's like, oh, like you're pitching well, but we don't want to mess up your numbers and stuff. And the old school
Right.
coach is like, no, leave
No.
his ass
Leave.
out there.
Leave him
He
out
should
there.
have been doing his work. If he
That's right.
wasn't doing it, it wouldn't be happening. We don't leave
That's
him out
right.
there until something happens that
Right.
he makes the adjustment and understands
Right.
life lessons at this point.
That's it,
And I feel
brother.
like the guys don't can't give these kids the life lessons that they need to have
Come on.
because they never got them as well, right?
Right.
Like you have coordinators and pitching coaches in all these organizations that are leading these kids that are technically at a higher level than they have ever been in their life. So how can you
Right.
realistically?
Come
I
on.
mean, we're
Come on.
supposed to be coaches and love kids and give the best to them, right? But realistically, as athletes and competitors,
Correct.
if I'm trying to coach somebody and they're almost the same age as me,
Come on. Come on.
and they've already reached a level higher than I have,
Come on.
how am I supposed to give them my best? There's
Come on.
going to be, just as human nature, there's going to be some jealousy, some ego all involved in it,
Come on.
right? Especially, and you haven't been through it, so you can't help them even more
Come on.
after that.
Come on.
So that's crazy to me. All these organizations consistently want to do this,
Man.
and they have guys, former players that are applying for these jobs, and they're asking to be in the minor league
That's right.
coaches or
That's right.
asking to be in the big leagues as coaches to help these guys be better players, be better people, have a better baseball product on the field for more fans to come enjoy.
Come on.
But the organizations don't want to do it, and then they blame the players.
Right.
I
And
don't
then
get
it,
it.
I don't get. Hey.
I don't get it. Like owners complaining, like, oh, we need to keep the salaries down, and this, that, and the third. But you're not putting the structure around the players where you can make more money off of them.
That's
Because
right.
if you see the Dodgers, everybody wants to go play for the Dodgers, right?
Come
That's
on.
not a
Come
coincidence.
on. Come on.
Everybody
Come
goes
on.
and plays for the
Come
Dodgers
on.
because the system they have, the way they develop
It
players,
works.
the way they do the contracts, and they have enough baseball people around them that these guys want to be there and they win. You go to the Dodgers and people are taking pay cuts or taking deferred money because they're like, we can go win a championship.
Correct. Correct.
But
And it,
everybody else can do the same thing, but nobody wants to go there because guys talk about the front offices. We talk about the pitching coaches. We talk about the hitting coaches. We talk
mm,
about all those things, and players know who they want to be coached by and who they want to learn by. Baseball is one of the few and only places where you can have the highest degree of a job and never study under somebody that's been there. That's like me going to a surgeon and being like, hey, I want you to do the surgery on me. And being like, where'd you go to school? Oh, I went to school for 4 years and I got my doctorate, but I've never operated on somebody ever in my life. And
no.
I
Time
never
out.
fought and I never studied or interned or followed another surgeon or
No.
anybody in my medical field.
No.
But I'm gonna
And
let you come work
no.
on me.
No.
That
No.
doesn't work in
Make,
any other profession. It doesn't work in law. Think about all the basketball teams right now. A lot of those guys are former players, or if the guy isn't a former, if the head coach isn't a former player, his whole staff are full of former
come
players.
on. Come on. Come on.
But you don't see that in baseball at all, which is wild, right? You'll have a head coach that's never coached,
Right.
and then you'll have a pitching coach, hitting coach, and all these other guys on the staff, and have two guys out of a 13-man staff
Mm,
that have played minor league baseball or professional baseball at all. But you're supposed to put a good product on the field and have these guys be the best that they can be.
wow.
Like just off of that alone, you would just think there's a ceiling on my team or
Correct.
on the ability of my guys because they're not getting all the value that they should be getting from
Right.
everywhere they should be getting it from.
Correct.
So, I mean, that was the main reason I created the program that I've created. So
Yeah. We're
these
gonna
high
get.
school kids and these college kids and some of these pro kids too,
Mm-hmm.
they have these coaches, and I said like, there's no disrespect to those coaches because it's not their fault they're in those positions. It's not their fault necessarily that they didn't get to the level that they wanted to get to. But
Mm,
we're here to make sure we marry that together and bridge that gap where you know all the analytics. We know the analytics too, because I just got done playing last year, so you can't tell me I don't know the analytics.
I love it.
All
I
my
love
coaches
it.
have literally been playing and got done playing over the past like 3 to 5 years. So we know the numbers. So we're bridging the gap and not taking people away
Mm,
from their mechanical guys because they want to get the analytics and the numbers, but teaching these guys that there's more to it.
to it.
If you
Hey.
want to go through and be your best version of yourself, the highest version of yourself, regardless if you succeed in baseball or anything else, then you need people around you to support you that can help you go through those things. Like a lot of my guys that I have now, not only on the app, but the guys I coached last year call me more now for life advice
In
that deal with
baseball.
baseball a little bit
Correct.
compared to just strictly baseball mechanical advice because that's what I want to be. That's what I want this program to be. And that's what I think all these kids are missing now. Everybody's so worried about hitting a 400-foot home run, but you're hitting 220. All these guys are worried about throwing 95, 96, but you can't throw strike one and
That's
strike
right.
two.
That's right. Can't locate.
You're always 2-0, 3-1, 1-0, and in the big leagues or in the high minors, that's getting you capped every time.
That's right.
But that's where baseball's going. So you got to find the marriage in that to understand like, hey, you can throw 98, but what if you throw 96 for the first 6 pitches and you get in the zone and throw strikes? Now you can pump it up to 98.
Yeah.
Or guys that are hitting 220. Okay, instead of this game, you're trying to pull off and spin on everything because your launch angle's better to right center and right field. Why don't you hit this ball in the gap to left field so you can
Come on.
stay through it and see how
Come
much
on.
power you have so you can help
Come
the
on.
team win first. And
Hey,
then we can work on that once you get 1 or 2 hits.
I told
That's
you
why the
guys.
old school ball players are good. They knew launch angle and all this stuff, but it's like, hey, I'm not going to get to this launch angle or try to hit this home run until I've got 1 or 2 hits or we're up by three
Right.
runs.
That's right.
Like, you play the
Yeah.
game. It's
Hey.
not just for clicks. And I think when you have people in positions that are trying to make money off of clicks instead of make money off of baseball,
Come
then
on.
it's different.
Come on. Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you, I told everybody at the beginning of the show, take notes. This is gonna be a different podcast today. Jay has dropped it all. Jay,
Oh,
you have dropped it. I mean, you just like dropped the mic. Hey, you like boom, boom, boom. You've hit in all locations, brother. Hey, you have said so much. This is probably one of the most powerful, hands-on podcast interviews I've had in a while. I've had some great ones, no disrespect, but you have just dropped some stuff that um, you can't get it anywhere else unless you've experienced it. Okay, you got to
yeah.
be in it to be able
Well,
to talk about it.
and that's
Go.
the point that I want to get to these guys because players ultimately I feel like want to be coached by people and follow people who have done it because then they can learn from it. We can teach you to not make the same mistakes we did in the same situations where I said before those guys have never been in that situation. So if that situation comes up, all they're going to say is follow the numbers. But the
Yeah,
numbers in that situation might not give you the best result.
that's
Say
right.
like, okay, well, there's a man on second and third, but no, there's a man on first and second, and it's early in the game, but
Okay.
your spin rate and everything else, like you're a strikeout pitcher. Okay, am I going to try to strike this guy out? Maybe bounce a ball in the dirt, get him to second and third, or am I going to try to strike this guy out, waste pitches possibly, or am I going to try to strike this guy out and get one out, or could I just hit my spots, make a quality pitch, and try to roll up a double play?
Yeah, let the defense do their job.
Like like guys have lost the art of that. I think you see the older pitchers that stay in the game that have stayed in the game as long as they have, they still do that and they still strikeouts are going to come. As a pitcher and as a strikeout pitcher, if your stuff's good and you're hitting your spots, strikeouts are going to come. You got to play the averages. The greatest hitters in the world
Right.
still got out 7 out of 10 times.
That's right. That's right.
Like,
That's
you
right.
know what I mean? 7 out of 10.
That's right.
Average hitters are getting out 8 out of 10. So
That's
if
right.
I'm up there, I'm gonna play the odds. I'm gonna hit my spots. I'm gonna do what I need to do. But again, that goes back to the organizations now. Like, is that who they want on the team,
Mm.
right? Because I went down to Arizona to do a coaching development program, and listening to the coaches I was around and the people that are above me. Because, like I said, there's people in coordinator positions, big league positions, that are a lot younger than me, that are just getting out of college, that have never played a day of minor league baseball, let alone high D1 baseball, but they're in charge of whole organizations and whole staffs. And just listening to them, and this is just some behind the scenes stuff, I was listening to them and just not trying to be like disrespectful or
Disrespectful.
anything like that, just listening. And these guys are talking about the kids that they're coaching that are in their organizations and like, yeah, this kid's got really good numbers, but I wish I could tell him that, he's never going to be a big leaguer because he doesn't throw 95, 96. And I'm like,
Hmm?
what? I'm
Yeah.
like, if he's got good
Right.
numbers and he's getting outs everywhere, why does it
Right.
matter?
Right.
But
Right.
that's the way the guys that don't play think. That's what these organizations are looking for now because that's who they're putting in charge of these organizations. You'll see a lot of those guys, some of the guys that have those resumes that I'm talking about might be in big league organizations, might be coordinators, might be big league pitching coaches, but look at their teams too.
Right. Right.
That's all
You're
I'm
right.
saying. A lot
You're
of
right.
times
You're
when
right.
those things happen, those hires happen, they
Right.
might have good success for a couple years because the numbers and the analytics and the new guys are coming up or they fall in love with the analytics and stuff. But after a certain point,
Correct.
the numbers,
Don't start fading.
like, that's your ceiling is your
Right.
numbers, right? The numbers only say so much. Like to get Mike Trout, to be Mike Trout, Bryce Harper, look at their numbers, right? But I guarantee you it's more than numbers. It's a
Right.
lot of mental stuff. There's a lot of grind. There's a lot of things that they went through that most people haven't gone through. Like I tell
Correct.
people all the time, to be at that level, the sacrifices you have to make, just like with any entrepreneur, any business, any surgeon, whatever, the sacrifices you have to make to be that great. You look at LeBron's life and stuff like that. You look at, Drake May now. You look at Sam Darnold. Like the sacrifices you have to make to be that great, you have to want to make them and you have to enjoy making them. Because I could say that like I didn't have the most talent in the world and I played for 17 years professionally, right? But could I have had a better career? Probably. If I would
Hmm.
have took more time and put more effort into some of the things like they did, I probably could have. But I tell people all the time, like, I had the career I wanted to have because I wanted to enjoy my life and play baseball at the same time. I put in all the work, but I wanted to enjoy the fruits of my labor at the same time.
I
Where some
got
of
you.
these guys, where you see them being great and whatnot, they don't get to enjoy those fruits until they're retired and done, right? You hear it all the time. I sacrificed so much for this game that now that I'm done, I've got all the money and everything else in the world, but I've lost all the time that I could have been having fun with my boys that were on my team and stuff. You know what I mean? So could
I
I have
got you.
taken some of those fun times out that I took and probably worked on honing my game a little bit more and having a better career? Yeah. But I tell people like that's up to you how you want to live your life. Like my life, I had a great career. I went through some ups and downs, like you said. I could have had less fun, but I also know that there's a lot of situations I was in that were out of
Right.
my control that I handled
Correct.
to the best of my ability. That I still didn't get the fruits of the labor that I put into it too.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
like I said, the politics of the game of baseball. When you're a top prospect, when someone else is a top prospect, you think you're supposed to go up. That's just the way the game is, right? No
Yep.
matter how good your numbers are, no matter how you're dominating or whatever else, if you're not who you're supposed to be or what they're
Be
looking for,
right.
you can get the short end of the stick. So I
Hey.
decided that I was going to enjoy it regardless, and I had a blast, and I got to see the world, and I had a great career. And now, with that being said, going back, who would you rather want to listen to and talk
Right.
to and have on your side to support you? Somebody that's done all those things, been through the ups and downs, gone through different countries, been through different situations to help you be the best player and learn from
Right.
those mistakes, or somebody, and again, it's no disrespect to them, but somebody that just got out of college, never traveled anywhere, has only coached kids before,
Right.
never been through it. Like I want that guy to have to be as a support person, but I don't want to be the person that's the main person I'm necessarily listening to because it's like, what can you truly give me that
Give
I
me.
can't go
Okay.
look up myself
Correct.
realistically?
Correct. Correct. You need some life
Like you know what I
experiences.
mean?
You need
Like
life
people,
experiences.
I think that's what frustrates me so much about these analytics and stuff like that that's going on and why and how it's so prevalent. Like, it's nothing wrong with it, but you're not giving me anything that I can't go look up myself. Realistically, you're just pretty much a secretary to what I'm trying to do.
I got you. Yeah. Yeah. Facts.
You see what I'm saying? And there's
Facts.
nothing wrong with it. But you need
Correct.
those people because it's like if I'm trying to play the game, I don't have the time
Time.
to go look at all these numbers and blah,
Correct.
blah, blah. So I
Correct.
need somebody else to do that.
Correct.
But I don't think that should be my coach looking at the numbers and
You
telling me
got
the
it.
numbers. The coach should be sitting there telling me the situations and how I can make sure we win this game.
In which,
And the only way you can do that is if you've done it.
hey, you, hey, I told you guys, hey, I told you it's gonna be a blast. Episode 139 of very own MLB 17
A
year.
lot of people are gonna be mad at me though.
It's okay, Jay. I got you, brother. I got you. Well, we got Jay Jackson over here. He is throwing it all out. Before I go any further, this episode is brought to you by the very own Hoist. People want to ask what I'm drinking. This is called Hoist. Hoist. This is a hydration drink. It's a 4 level hydration. It's trusted by elite athletes and also the military, our U.S. Army, our U.S. military, Air Force, Marines. They use this drink. They have had this drink for several years. If you're grinding 2 a days, bullpens, tryouts, check it out. Hoist is a hydration drink. Hey, but anyway, hey Jay, I appreciate what you just said. You said a whole lot, a whole lot, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm over here sucking it in. But anyway, Jay, what separates pitchers who last 10 years from the ones that mm, get that release call? What's the separation? Just not even 17. Let's go back. Let's go back some years. Let's go back because I know hey, you can
Like
write them.
we go back the first like we go back the first like 4 or 5 years
Okay,
of
go ahead.
minor league baseball after you get drafted. Realistically, because I had a lot of my guys, and they follow me. I still talk to them to this day. Like my draft class that I went in with, out
Okay,
of my draft class, I was I think like the sixth pitcher taken,
the
and out of
six.
our
Okay,
draft class, I think there was two that made it to the big leagues before like our second, third, and like fourth rounders.
whoa. Okay,
And one of them was a 13th rounder, and obviously our first rounder that year was Andrew Kashner, so he made it to the big leagues really
okay,
fast. But
okay.
me, Kashner, and another guy, Casey Coleman, were on the fast track to be a top prospect. Well, and then everybody else pretty much got released. So I think again the thing that keeps guys in the game for 10 years compared to 3 or 4 is granted whatever organization you go to,
Okay.
what round you get drafted in, how much money they invest in
Invested.
you as
Yep.
well. But also, I think the main thing that comes down to it is how you view yourself
Mm.
realistically.
Okay.
Like if you tell yourself if they draft you in the 10th round, 12th round, whatever it is, if you tell yourself I'm a 12th rounder and I hope that I get to this level or I get here, or I hope I get I hope I make it to this, then you're probably not going to.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But the guys that stay around a long time are the guys that, you know, some say have a chip on your shoulder. I like to say it's the guys that enjoy what they're doing.
Do it.
You see guys all the time get released and then go play independent ball for 10 years after it. And that's not a bad career. It's
Correct.
you still enjoyed what you were doing. It's you got released from an affiliate, but you can still make your way back. A lot of guys that get released and quit, that means you didn't truly enjoy it. So I say the guys that stick around, they first enjoy it because if you're enjoying it, that means you're okay putting in all the
All the
work
work.
that's necessary to make sure you stay there, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
I said, if you get drafted in the 10th or 12th round, like I hope I get there. You're probably not going to put in all the necessary extra work to make sure that you're fighting for a spot.
That's
You
right.
just feel like you're blessed to be a 12th round pick. I was a ninth round pick, and I was projected to go in the first 3 rounds, and then yeah, I had a little chip on my shoulder, but I knew I was better than a lot of guys that got drafted before me.
I
So
got you.
it's like I'm not gonna let anybody take my dream away. And when I got there, yeah, did it suck? Did the grind suck? Yeah.
Yeah.
But did those days in Arizona when it's 100 degrees suck? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was having fun and I was doing what made me happy.
Happy. I
So
got
all
you.
those bad times that most people would say are enjoyable for me because at the end of it, if I'm doing something that makes me happy, the happy times outweigh the unhappy times every day. That's
That's
why,
it.
again, throwing it back, that's why we created Smile Zone. That means start making intentional life effort.
Mm.
But it's based off of, like you said, you have a book. I have a book
Go
too.
throw
And
it in.
it's,
Throw it up there, brother.
Masters to Living.
I love it. Hey, get that
So,
book
and
too.
again,
Go get it.
it's, in the book is themed with baseball, but it's not baseball centric. It's literally a self help, positive mindset book for everybody. Everybody that's read it, all the school administrators, all my teammates, all the people I've handed out to just on the streets and stuff have all come back with saying that like it's one of the best books they've read because it does make sure and make them realize like they need to live life not with purpose, but to be happy.
Mm.
Because if they're doing things that make themselves happy, then they're going to put more effort into
Effort
it, and
is
then they're
it.
going to
That's
have
right.
more success.
I like that, Jay. I like that.
So for me, that's that's been my whole career, and that's resonated throughout my career, and that's what I've tried to do and instill in other people. But that goes back to what keeps guys in the league for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Like you can have the talent, you can have the numbers sometimes, but if you're not happy doing it, you're gonna fall off because you're not enjoying it.
That's
But if
right.
you're enjoying it, you might not have the numbers, you might not have the talent,
Correct.
but if you're a good teammate and you're helping contribute in some type of way because that's what you enjoy doing, you stick around a little bit longer. Like we talked about it from when we were talking about me being around as long as I have and why being a good teammate and trying to be the best teammate I could, trying to be professional and going out there and being as
Right.
happy as I can because positivity rubs off on everybody. It's a
Everybody.
snowball effect. So if I'm out there enjoying the game, then normally my teammates or the people around me are enjoying the game as well, and that resonates. And normally we play better baseball. And even
That's
if
right.
we're not, and we look like we're enjoying the game, it's still a game of entertainment, right? So if we're
Yeah.
looking like we're happy, the fans are normally probably happy too, and people are happy.
I
So
love it.
people don't understand, like, we get pushed so much negativity to get clickbaited in, because negativity and negative things fire our endorphins so much more and make us click them and make us so much more
Right.
excited, that the positive stuff gets left behind.
Come on.
But when you look at people truly being happy and positive, it's such an infectious feeling that people hate on it more than they enjoy it. But if you jump in and enjoy it, your life gets so much better too.
That's right. That's right. Hey, hey, you said it right, Jay. Jay, I appreciate what you said. Now you're talking about that. I got another question for you based on what you just said.
Yeah.
So, how do you emotionally reset when you get there's a letdown, or you feel that you let your team down pitching, or your pride gets in the way when you're pitching, or any major league situation that your emotion you got. How do you emotionally reset yourself from a letdown at that high level?
Um, it depends on how much time I have, really, right? Like,
Okay.
if it's in the moment, if it's really in the moment, like home run, tie ball game, or something like that, then you just have to, again, rely on your past experiences
Okay.
and your confidence in knowing that it was a blip in the radar, that is not something that's going to continuously happen. And so you
Okay.
just try to get back to going back again. The smile zone, this again, we're tying it back into the app,
It's all right,
but the
brother. Go
app
ahead. Go ahead.
is literally, it's a curriculum. It's a year-long curriculum right now. We're expanding it to 2 and 3 years, depending on how the kids like the first year. But the first year, the curriculum is literally each week. I used it with my guys that won the championship last year. Is a different mindset cue. So you get to talk about. You have a mindset cue. You have a quiz on it, and then depending on which tier or which program you sign up for in the program, you get to either talk to your mentor every other week, so twice a month, or you get to talk to your mentor every week to talk about your mindset cue and what you learned from that week. So that's kind of my thing with my pitchers, and kind of what I've built into is, okay, if it's something that happened on the field that's real quick, then okay, what's my mindset cue? What can get me locked back in? And that's one of them. Okay, give up a home run. My One of the weekly cues is one pitch focus.
Mm,
So, okay, gave up a home run. That was one pitch. I need to get to this next pitch now. I need to focus on this next pitch.
mm-hmm.
So that's the quick and like fastest way you can do it, right? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Once you get your confidence and your mental game down, this is what we're teaching. It's easier to do that, and you'll
I
have
got you.
less mistakes. And again, then
Mm,
you'll be more successful, right? But if I have time, if it's something that's really drastic that's affecting me,
correct.
I actually go take a nap. Some people look at me crazy because of it. But literally, if I'm upset or if something's going wrong and I have time, I'll literally go take a nap, because I feel like taking a nap, it resets me, it rests me, like, it calms me down, right? Like, because whatever I'm thinking about at that time, if I take a nap, it shuts everything off for a little bit, and I can get into a deep state. Because a lot of times, like, I'll try to meditate before I take a
Right.
nap anyway, and it helps
Right.
me go into a meditative state. So I'll take a nap, and then if I wake up, if it still bothers me, then I'll go take action on whatever it might be.
I
But
like
then
it.
if it doesn't bother me when I wake up, then I know it wasn't that important, and that I need to go do something more productive and more positive anyway. But
I like
again,
that.
if it's something that bothers me when I wake up, like say I gave up a walk-off home run and it was like, to lose the playoffs or something like that, then I might go take a nap the next day, or and then talk to the team, because we're going to be cleaning our lockers out and stuff the next day. But if it's a game during the season where give up a walk-off home run or something like that and it bothers me, you go home, go to sleep, you flush it, and then if it still bothers you in the morning, right, you talk to the team, talk to your pitching coach, go look at some video, but don't overanalyze it. Don't try to make it worse than it was before. And I think a lot of times, again, goes back to the coaches we have now, right? You make a mistake, it's overanalyzation instead of finding the simplest way to make it better. It's okay. These numbers say this shouldn't have happened. So why did it happen? And if the numbers say that it shouldn't have happened, they get dumbfounded instead of being like, okay, well, what was going on outside of this? What were the conditions of the field? What was the hitter looking for? Had you thrown him six sliders before that, even though it's your best pitch, did you throw him six? So he's seen every single one. You didn't get him off of it. So no matter what the numbers tell you, there's different scenarios outside of the numbers that affect baseball at all times, just like in any sport, because there's too much human element in it.
Man, Jay, you said a whole lot there, and I'm gonna say this: what you just said. You said you like to go to sleep. I thought that was hilarious. I think that's if it works for you, do it. But it's funny to me. It's funny, but that's if it works, it works. And I'm gonna say this because I told you I coach high school baseball here in South Florida, and I love the human element. I love it because I'm with you. I connect. I'm
Yeah.
old school. I like analyticals too, but I like that personal one-on-one. Let's talk about this. Let's go through A through Z. We're gonna go through A through Z to
Yeah.
figure this out. We're not talking about analyticals right now. It's not the time. It's a time and a place for things. But you said something was really good. You said I go to sleep, and you said something that was biblical. I don't know if you realize it. You said basically you're resting. You just rest. You're going to rest on this situation. I'm not going to let it
Yeah.
control me. And then you said this. You said meditate. I had another professional major league player on a show a couple weeks ago, and he said, "Oh, it was Lewis Brinson said something. Lewis said something.
Brinson, yeah, Lou,
Lou,
big guy.
Lou,
That's my dog right there. Love him. Great
Lou
guy.
said something. So I asked him a similar question, and he said the same thing. He said, "You know what I do?" He said, "One of the most important things I do, I meditate." And I said, "Do you realize that's biblical?" He said, "Because meditate day and night on the Word of God. Also meditate on good things, not bad things." You talked about that earlier about good and bad.
Yeah.
I'm a great listener. I'm like, but if people understand, if you think about good things and you have a positive attitude and you use your faith, things are going to happen. Maybe not when you want it to happen, Jay, but it's going to, because look at you, 17 years. Come on, bro. Let's talk about that. 17 years. You had to be meditating and believing a whole lot for a long. And I'm preaching this thing because I said, man, you said some powerful stuff, man. But I just had to give you your props on that because that's actually biblical. It's in Joshua 1:8, talking about meditate on the book of the law day and night, and you should have great success. You will have great success. It's biblical. But also, you said go to sleep. And I love that. I think that's funny, Jay. I'm laughing 'cause I think it's funny.
No,
I'm like, he's sleeping. I love this guy. I said,
hey,
this guy's cool. He's like, go to sleep.
no,
Go ahead, Jay.
I learned it from my mom. My mom's the one who taught me that because, like, it was literally my mom and dad would always say, "You've heard the old saying, scratch your mad place, right?" Everybody always say, "Scratch your mad place." And so it started with that, and then my mom, like, I would have some bad days every now and then, and she'd be like, "Just go to sleep on it, like, go take a nap on it, and if it's that important and it's bothering you when you wake up, go fix it, go figure it out,
That's right.
go talk about it, because that means it's still heavy on your heart, right?
That's right.
But if it's not, that means it's not that important." So once I started doing that, and it helped out a lot. The way that my trajectory kind of changed was, like you said, it's biblical. I talked to the man upstairs one night. I was in a situation, and my career wasn't at a crossroads necessarily, but my life was at a crossroads
Right.
where it's like
Right.
I need to either make the decision to keep playing baseball or go
Or,
find something else, right?
mm-hmm.
Because the minor leagues, like I told you back in the day, you're not getting paid enough to have a family,
That's right.
support people, and all these things. And I prayed to the man. I was like, "Hey, if this is what you want me to do,
Do. Right.
then I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna enjoy it, and I'm gonna not take it for granted ever again." And literally the next day, I got a phone call from my agent, and it was like, "Hey, you got somebody offered you a job, blah blah blah." And I was like, "All right, I guess this is what we're doing." And then
I
that
love
was
it.
in that was in 2000. That was in 2012.
Mm.
That was in 2012. So I made it another 12 years after that. So like I said, it's you don't know what you're supposed to do, but if you do what makes you happy, and again, you talk to yourself positively, you say good things to yourself, the faith will follow you and it'll find you. If you put good things into the universe will find a way. Whatever you put into the universe, good or bad, will find its way to you.
Hey,
I
hey,
tell that
that's
to all
true.
the people
Yeah.
that I know.
Yeah. For real.
So we focus all the time on just trying to be as positive as possible. Because if you're positive, then again, more positive stuff's going to snowball to you. More positivity is going to happen to you. More good things are going to happen to you, right? And we go back to, like you said before, A to B with the players and trying to be more personal so you can have that, so you can make sure these guys are being positive, so you can talk to them and be positive. That's the whole point of the app, is to make sure these guys have a support system from guys that have been there, to make sure that they understand that these negative situations can be turned into
That's right.
lemonade, from lemons to lemonade. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Make a
Right.
bad situation good. And if we don't make it perfectly good, you can try to make it as neutral as possible. But it's not got to be bad. But I feel
Mm-hmm.
like with the organizations the way they are, the coaches the way they are, again, they're trying to make everybody the same,
Right. It's not
right?
gonna
It's
work.
all
That's right.
analytics.
That's right.
So trying to make everybody a robot instead of everybody being their own person,
That's
having their
right.
own set of skills to get to the desired result that you want.
That's right.
Being a coach isn't about making everybody the same with the numbers. Being a coach is coming down to each person's level, each player's level. Doesn't matter how many players you have, and making sure that they have the ability to be the best versions of themselves. And
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't mean that you change guys' pitches all the time, or change their grips, change
Yeah.
their spin rates, change the way they really attack the zone, because the reason they got there in the
Yeah.
first
Right.
place
Come on. Right.
was why they got there, and was what made them confident. You're gonna
Correct.
they take kids' confidences away all the time. Let's change this pitch because your other pitch is getting hit. This pitch wasn't getting hit for the past 10 years, but now it's getting hit because I'm at a level. Like, let's talk about it together, make some adjustments to who I
Right.
am to figure it out, instead of just being like, oh, this pitch doesn't get hit.
That's right.
Let's throw this one, and then if it works 2 or 3 times, then you throw it all the time. Like, that's not how it should be. It's got to be, each person has to know themselves to get the
Right.
best out of themselves. If
That's
I
right.
throw 90, but I can get outs and I can throw 200 innings a year
Right.
with a 3.5, that's what I should be able to do and not have to worry about conforming. I lost myself in that way my last year, even though my last year in Minnesota, I tell people this all the time, and I thank all the fans that have reached out and supported me through me talking about it. But I had the coach there try to change my arsenal after I've been playing for what, 16 years and being successful, but saw something that looked good on the numbers. And
Right.
it's like, oh, we need you to throw this more. And then I had the year I had one, I was hurt. I had to end up getting a PRP in my left knee and my right shoulder. But also, we're trying to reinvent the wheel at the last hour. Instead of using things that worked for
Before.
16,
Right.
it hasn't been broken yet.
Right.
You
If
know
it
what I
ain't broke,
mean?
don't try
So
to fix it.
that's but I think that's where we're at in the game too. Like I said, and then guys lose confidence, and then their play suffers or their numbers suffer, right? But the coaches don't take any accountability for it.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
player at that point,
That's right.
right?
That's right. That's right.
So, because and this has been a revelation to me, because I've heard from some people that have had behind the scenes stuff with the Twins at this point, that the way they were talking about me behind closed doors was unbelievable. Like, now that I found out, and the fact that these guys knew I was hurt
Mm-hmm.
and knew I was going through stuff, but I would go out there, give my best, and go through one inning clean half the time, and then sit down for a while, and then, Jay, go back out there. I'm the oldest guy in the bullpen with some nagging issues, and you throw me back out there, and then my numbers suffer, velo suffers, things like that happen, but it's my fault. And it's not any onus on the organization, not any onus on the coach for knowing your players, right?
That's right.
Not the
Building a
staff, not
relationship.
knowing your players. Like,
That's right. Building a relationship.
exactly. It's, hey, this is what you're supposed to do. This is the numbers. Okay, you're not doing it. Okay, why am I not doing it? I've tried to communicate that with you guys, but you guys, again, this is when you have people in positions that have never been there before,
Correct.
that they don't care about everything else that might be going on to help you get back to the level to produce for the team. It's, you're not producing right now with the numbers that we see or what you might have had before, so we need to get you out of here. And again, the guys that were behind the scenes saying all this stuff have never played at the level I was playing at to get there in the first place.
I get you.
So it's like, you're going to talk bad about somebody that you haven't even been able to do the same thing as, because you're asking them to do something completely different too.
Right. Right.
And I, again, I had a problem with that, but that's, again, being a coach, being with analytics, making it to the big leagues. And again, same thing. Those days would happen. I'd go home and go to sleep. If it bothered me the next day, Then I go talk to a teammate or a coach or something like that, or my agent or something like that, and try to figure out the problem. But if I knew that after a couple of times I knew the situation, I would go home, go to sleep, and be like, I gave all I could. I did my best. I tried to make sure I put the team in a position to succeed. There's nothing more I could do.
Hey, Jay, I
So,
appreciate that, man. I mean, we got a few more minutes left. Hey, you got it, boy. Hey, I'm enjoying it. I'm just taking it all in because I know I'm gonna get some tweets, I'm gonna get some calls, I'm gonna get some emails from this one because this is good. We're gonna go
hey,
behind
I
the.
am too. I am too.
We gonna get
Look,
some.
because I'll put it like this. I've been, I got asked again. This is why I say like it's frustrating, and this is one of the main reasons I did create the program I did too. Is because a lot of the guys that are working with me and are coaches with me are in the program and wanting to be coaches to help the younger generation. We've been asked by individuals in the baseball ranks to apply for these openings in the minor leagues for coaching positions, the big leagues for coaching positions, and things of this nature, right? But we none of us have gotten hired. None of us have gotten. I haven't even all the organizations I applied to. I didn't even get a second interview.
Wow.
And for me, after having the guys that I coached last year and having the success that they had,
Right.
winning a championship, playing as long as I have, and then I'm seeing other guys that haven't played as long as I have get jobs right away, go try to help these kids, be in positions of power
Right.
is crazy to me. So I created this so I can be like, okay, you're gonna have these people in position of power that might not really know your life. So we're
Right.
going to be there to make sure that you're not getting as frustrated as I once did, as
Right.
some of my other players and other teammates once did with these people. We're going to give you a way to reconcile that, but also because these guys aren't getting jobs, it's another way for me to give back to the baseball
Correct.
community with the
Right.
older guys to be able to give them a way to service the younger kids as
Yeah.
well. So it's a
Yeah.
give. It's a for me. It's all about giving back to the
Right.
youth, but also because this is so important to me to make better people and better baseball players. Because the product of baseball right now, I'm not going to say it's
Right.
bad,
I got you.
but it's not as good as it used to be.
Used to be. You're right.
And I feel like we lost that because of the baseball IQ has gone down because of the people in positions of power don't necessarily have that baseball IQ that's necessary. Again, I'm a San Francisco Giant. You're a Giants fan, right?
Oh,
You hire the
yeah.
you hire the, but you hire the coach from Tennessee. Again, that's no shot. There's no
Right.
disrespect to him
Right. No
because he's been
disrespect.
winning.
Right.
But if you're
But
but if you're going to do something like that, maybe you do something like the Brewers did or the Padres did, where you get Pat Murphy and then he goes and manages in the minors for 1 or 2 years and then he gets to the big leagues. But
yeah.
you take somebody that's coming straight from college, then he
Straight
brings
from
his
college.
staff from college with him to come to a big league organization. Like, I get you get to deal with NILs and SEC baseball and all that stuff. Grown men talking about their money and you controlling that at that point, that's a different ball game. And like I said, the staff they put around him wasn't terrible,
Right.
but again, it shows you where baseball is going.
Right.
Like
You're
I
right.
would think that Buster Posey, me and Buster, I asked Buster. I reached Buster's my old teammate, and this is why I know I'm going to get a lot of heat too. Buster's my old teammate. His his assistant that works there is my old agent, but
Mm.
yet I still reached out to them to apply an interview for different jobs in that organization and heard nothing. You know what I mean? Like you people talk about the connections and stuff. The connections and relationships that you build with these people are only as good as that person views it, right? You can tell me all day that you enjoyed me, you
Right.
had fun,
Right.
that you support me, that you're a good person, that you're a good player. But then when it comes down to things like this,
Making it happen. Making it happen. Making it happen. That's right. Well,
well,
Jay.
and again, we talk about, and I'll throw this last thing. We were talking about a lot, and a lot of my coaches are African American coaches too. But like people want to say there's not a divide in it, and but you see the numbers in African American players. You see the divide again. You see the coaches. It starts not only with the players, but for players to have that ability to be in the big leagues and progress through the minors, you have to have again a support system around
Yes.
it. When you don't have any black coaches, you don't have any black
Mm.
owners, you don't have any black GMs really. It's hard for that to happen as well. But again, not only with black players, but all players, if you don't have that support system,
Well.
that's what we're here for. We're building the biggest and best and most positive community for every player, fan, parents to come learn. Everybody is invited to be on this app, especially
Mm,
if you want to be mentored by former MLB players that can help you be the best player in person that you can be.
I like that, Jay. You know, because I just had Jerry Manuel on my show a week ago as well. Jerry Manuel,
Oh,
yeah, he was on the show last week, and he said the
love
same
Jerry.
thing. He said the same thing you said. He said that the baseball culture has changed, and also we need to have coaches and managers and GMs and CEOs that look like us when it comes to baseball. And we talked about that, but I had Jerry on here last week as well. But I got one question for you. You talked about San Francisco. This behind the scenes stuff, and I'm a diehard Giants fan, but you know that. I love Barry Bonds. I don't care what anyone says. He's just my guy. I love Barry. I love San Francisco Giants.
Barry Bonds, the greatest hitter of all time.
Thank you. Thank you. You heard that. He said it. I said it. Barry Bonds is the best. So Jay, my question to you: when you had that playoff run, one of the best times you had in baseball, playing against the Dodgers, what are some things? Well, a couple things you can share behind the scenes or stuff that you experienced that you enjoyed and you loved, that camaraderie, that you almost got to the World Series, but we got beat. I'm not talking about you. We got beat. What was that like? And then we can go ahead and close it out. I
Yeah.
want to know. I want to know because you talked about that in one of your clips. I seen. I said I gotta
Behind
ask him. Go ahead, Jay.
I mean, the behind the scenes stuff, like all the camaraderie is the biggest part. Like that's what makes those teams that win championships the teams that win championships. Because guys, we had a lot of times the teams that I was on that I tried to carry over, and I still do whenever I was playing, was going to dinner together or going to lunch together or going to breakfast together. Those are huge things. Those are things I miss now. I mean, obviously, and that's the thing that players and especially a lot of players struggle with once they're done playing because you don't have that same camaraderie. You don't have that group of people that
Yeah.
you saw every day to talk to and whatnot. But like the behind the scenes, just the breakfasts we would have, just hearing people argue like brothers and then go play a baseball game later that afternoon, right? You hear guys just talk crap to each other, say how bad each other are. Like I remember a conversation at one breakfast because we would go to breakfast as a pitching staff with the catchers and the whole pitching staff, like once a road trip. And one of the catchers was about to sign his deal, so we were all talking about like how much he was gonna make and stuff like that. And one of the other pitchers was like, "Yeah, like I got screwed on my deal, blah blah." And the catcher was like, "No, you didn't. You just weren't that good." Like just like stuff like that. Like you know what I mean? Like you got what you thought you should have got. If you didn't want it, you shouldn't have signed it. Like and then next thing you know, he was like starting the next day, throwing to him. Like it's like, okay, is this gonna bubble over,
Right,
or
right,
is everything good? But it's like, okay, we're brothers. Like
right,
okay, yeah, I sucked then. Well, you suck now. Like, what's
right,
going on? Like,
right,
okay,
right,
like
right.
you're getting paid for me because you're getting paid. So it was just the camaraderie that you have and the back and forth. And then, like I said, we're gonna have to one of these days. I'll get all my boys on, and we'll have like the nightcap version
Yeah,
of
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
behind the scenes,
Scenes. Yeah,
extra
I like that.
stuff or something like. I can't. We can't talk about that like on just regular like
Right.
kids are on here like the
Yeah,
parties
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
like again, Michael Irvin stories and stuff like that. Everybody's got some of those somewhere, right?
Yes.
But you don't want Michael Irvin's just Michael Irvin. He can say that because he's 8'8". He's a player.
That's
He
right.
can he can talk about whatever he wants
You
to
want
when
to
he
talk
wants
about?
to and
That's
how he
right.
wants to.
That's right.
But the rest of us, we don't
Right.
get paid enough to do that shit. So once I get paid enough to do that, or I honestly said this, my next goal after the book and everything is I want to create a TV show. So that's my
Okay.
next goal is to create a TV show.
Okay.
So therefore,
Okay.
you know, it can my goal is to create a TV show that is going to inspire the next wave and the next generation of black baseball players to want to play the game more cuz I know they want to play,
Yeah.
but again, you don't see enough of us in the spotlight where it's like, okay, this is basketball, this is football, right?
Correct.
All everybody wants to play basketball and football because you see LeBron, you see Steph, you see KD, you see Saquon, you see Jalen Hurts, you see Kyler, you see Patrick Mahomes, right? You see all these other guys that are the
Right.
faces, but then you'll see it in spurts with baseball where you'll have Michael Harris,
Right.
you have
Right.
you have Butler for a
Right.
month or so, but then
That's it. That's right.
nothing
Fade
else.
out. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to have it where it's a TV show that creates a buzz for kids to be like, dang, baseball's really like this. Like we need to play baseball and just flood it where we're undeniable. Even though, again, we're undeniable, but I feel like the guys know that they have to have the stats and statistics two, three times better than some of their
Yes.
counterparts. And I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be like they're playing to have fun because they see how fun it can be,
Correct.
and then the numbers just show up for themselves, and they don't worry about the politics because we take care of it because we have their support system to have their back enough to be like, as long as you keep doing that, somebody's going to sign you. We're going to make sure that happens, regardless of, again, if it's a mainly I want it because I want the next person that looks like me to be better than me, but I want all these kids to understand that like
Correct.
yes, baseball is going to be a grind. Life is going to be a grind because there's going to be things out of your control. There's going to be a lot of political stuff and people above you possibly that might have a control over it. But if you have the right support system, you have the people around you in the right mindset,
Right.
then you'll always be successful and you'll always be happy. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
appreciate that, man. We have Jay Vince, Jay Jackson, episode 139 on YouGoin Pro podcast. Jay, one last thing before we close out. I want you to close it out and also talk one last thing about your Smile Zone. If you would, how can they contact it, what your services are, yada, yada, yada. I want to go ahead and blast that out. So take a few minutes to talk about that and close it out.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So I am going to throw this out there. Smile Zone. We got jackets. You know, hey, if you join the Smile Zone and you stay for 6 months and you sign up for 6 months, probably a personal gift is you'll get a jacket, Letterman jacket for the Smile Zone. But Smile Zone is a baseball mentorship app for
Okay.
baseball players, but also any athletes. Realistically, mainly baseball players. But if you play baseball in another sport, it's a curriculum to help you be a better person and better player,
Okay.
to help you have more success on and off the field. And the way you can reach me personally is on Instagram or X at Jaxland58, JAXLAND 58. And then also we have the Smile Zone official pages up now. We have the Smile Zone on X. We have the Smile Zone app on IG. It's tagged with me and a bunch of the other coaches. You'll actually be able to see the other four coaches that I have involved with me and their intros and who they are, their names, their resumes, who they played for, where they've been. But then if you want to go directly and find out more about the Smile Zone, you can also find us at www.the-smile-zone.com, and everything else is on there. Our prices, how we compare to other, personal personal instruction online, how our program differs, how we are just there for your mental capacities. If you want us to do film and things like that, we have higher tier programs where our coaches can do that to spend more time with the kids to
Okay.
see what their film breakdown is and to get again their film breakdown and understand what they were going through that week to possibly be why this breakdown is what it is compared to just the analytics and mechanical side of it.
Okay.
But you can find us on Smile Zone app on IG, Smile Zone on X. We started a YouTube channel, Smile Zone. I also have a personal YouTube channel, OG Smiley J.
Oh, gee.
You can
Okay.
find me everywhere, but for sure, if you want to contact me or find more information about any of the coaches, me personally, or the zone, you can get to my IG page and I blast everything too, and that is Jaxland58,
Jackson. Okay.
JAXLAND 58.
Oh, wow. Hey, thank you, Jay. I appreciate that, man. This has been quick, fast, in a hurry. Hey, this is a rapid fire episode. This is a rapid fire. This has been good, man. Episode 139. Appreciate family. I think he brought nothing but the truth. Everybody wants to go pro, but there are a few people willing to survive through the process. You know, Jay Jackson didn't just make it. He adapted. He endured. He evolved. This episode was nothing but one of the best I've ever had. He's an all-star. This is an all-star edition right here. This is the all-star edition. If you were inspired and you want more of this, I ask you to come on next week on the You Going Pro podcast. This is very own Jay Jackson, MLB player for 17 years. Smile Zone. You heard him. Tag him. Get next to him. Hey, learn something. Get a friend. Be
You
mentored.
did.
Hey, and also go get his book. Hey, I'm signing out. Jay, give me a shout. Okay, brother? Take care. Thanks a lot, man.
I got you. I'll shout you out. Go get it. Go get my book. Go get Coach Lowery's book too. Make sure you get both of them because they're going to be very beneficial to whatever you're doing in your life. I promise you that.
Hey, peace out. See you on the other side. Thanks.